Hello everybody, welcome back. I have got another walkthrough for you here. This time we're playing the Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions. I do want to point out though, so this is actually going to be a hacked playthrough. I've gone through and altered a lot of my skill sets and stuff. So keep that in mind. Also, I've already completely done this walkthrough, but I was actually watching the first video last night that I had uploaded for YouTube for this series, and I hate it. I think what happened was in a couple of areas I didn't realize I must have forgot to turn off my microphone, and so wasn't really happy with that. And then on top of that, I didn't really edit the initial, I don't know, like couple minutes of the video, which is very weird. So I think I must have just not even thought about the edits that I needed to make, and uploaded it right away. And so again, I'm actually going to just redo this first one. The rest of the walkthrough is already up, and yeah, I think I'm going to leave that as is. But what I really wanted to do was to honestly alter a lot of the skill sets, and partially because I think a lot of the characters end up, being not as useful in my view as some others, and so I wanted to try to make them a little bit, more fun and interesting, and I think I did that. Although I think also probably on some level I probably went a little bit overboard because some of them feel pretty overpowered. But for the beginning and part of the game anyway, I think it's actually a little bit more difficult. So, anyways, let's get this started, and I'll kind of go over the stuff that I've tweaked as we go. But all right, so I am Arazlam, a student of Ivalice's middle age. You are familiar with the War of the Lions, no? It was a bitter war of succession that rent the land of Ivalice in two. Here we first find mention of Delita Hyrule, a hitherto unknown young man, the hero who would draw the curtain on this dark act of our history. His is a heroism of great renown, a story familiar to all who dwell within our land. Ah, but what the eye sees is oftentimes a mere fragment of the truth. There was another young man, the youngest of House. I always have trouble with this. I'm going to say Belv, long famed for producing leaders of knights and men. There is no official record of the role he played on history's stage. However, according to the Durai papers, the existence of which became known to the public only this last year, they had long lain concealed in church archives. This forgotten young man is in fact the true hero. The church maintains he was a heretic, an inciter of unrest, and disturber of the peace, which account is to be believed. Join me in my search to uncover the answer. But before we begin, might I ask you to share with me your name and the date of your birth? So here I think I just left him as Ramza, and then I gave him my birthday, which is January 16th, to make him a Capricorn. I love this version of the game. That opening scene is so good. O Father, abandon not your wayward children of Ivalice, but deliver us from... Oop, I was too slow. Boy. That's what I get. That's what I get for snoozing on the job. Anyways, Lady Ovilia, it is time. Not be much longer, Agrias. Your escort has already arrived, Majesty. Please heed the good lady's words, Highness. You must hurry. Still in here, are you? It's been the better part of an hour. Gafgarian, you forget yourself, sir. You are in the presence of the princess. May have bowed heads would less offend. You would do well to waste less time on idle pleasantries. I see even the noble order of the northern sky cannot rid itself of vulgar knaves. A guard captain in these rain-sodden hinterlands ought not expect chivalry. We are in employ of the order, not of it. Our pay does not cover trite courtesies to the likes of you. Govern your tongue. Enough. Let us be on our way. The Father watch over you, child, and you, elder. Lady, the enemy is upon us. Duke Goltana's men? You're paid for this. Time to earn our keep. What is it, Ramza? You love getting paid to do a job? I am a knight no longer, just another sellsword. Right then, to battle. Deliver us, O Lord. Bear the crest of the Black Lion. Duke Goltana must be mad. Does he mean to start a war? You there, wench. You cannot hope to defeat us. He will surrender the princess. If not, well, I would hate to see anything happen to that pretty face of yours. Head-on assault. These swords of katana lack wits one and all. In that case, we should be able to handle this without you, Gafgarian. Mayhap you could, but there's no money to be had in that. Lad Ramza with me. All right, defeat all enemies. So this is the first battle of the game. It's really more of a tutorial battle. You can't really control anybody other than Ramza himself. And so Gafgarian starts out, kill them all, leave no man standing. You'd have us slaughter them? Are you mad? Kill them here and you'll have played into Duke Goltana's hands. We need only put them to rout. I find dead men rout more easily. Yeah, you know, Gafgarian, definitely here in the initial conversations, definitely a no-nonsense, doesn't have time, apparently, for any sort of pleasantries. And I think I've actually got, let's just see here. My guess here is I've got a code active that I'll need to shut off. That's my guess anyway. But anyways, let's see here. Okay, yeah, so I don't have any metal abilities learned right now, which I think is because I've tweaked his skill set for... Technically, this is Ramza Chapter 2, and I think, anyway, if I'm remembering correctly, I'm now just a little bit rusty, but again, I think this is him and his skill set for Chapter 2, so this is even just a little bit different than the following battle after this, and so, that's kind of Ramza's deal is throughout the game, his skill sets change. I think maybe I don't want to say Chapter 2 and 3s are exactly the same, but they might be. But he just gets access to more abilities, essentially, as time progresses. Oh, look at that, Destroyed Mistral. Agrias just got her shield smashed. But yeah. So, anyways, I've tweaked Ramza and his basic squire job. And well, I shouldn't say that. That's maybe not entirely accurate. He doesn't really have a basic squire job. His is like a souped up squire. But it gets amazing, especially in chapter 4 where he starts being able to equip night swords, and those are I regard as the best weapons in the game. And again, he gets pretty nasty. One of the reasons though that I tweaked his skill set is, and it's kind of one thing that always kind of bothers me about this game, is that oftentimes, like Ramza, for instance, will have skills learned that I don't necessarily really want, and the reason for that is just kind of like a farming aspect where there's just, yeah, I've definitely got a code, I believe, equipped here that's giving me extra experience that I shouldn't have on, but I'll have to turn that off. But yeah, so anyways, you know, he'll have like chant. I believe Ramza starts out with the ability chant, and I actually don't really want him to have that, because that actually just I know it's such a small thing, but what it means is that whenever you're trying to like farm JP and stuff with him, you'll oftentimes have to go into metal, and then you'll have to press up or down to get to some of the skills that you actually want. And that's because the default like cursor position is always on chant, and I don't want to do that. So basically, what I did is to remove the chant ability from his skill set, and then I don't know if I like reapplied. Actually, I don't know. Maybe I did. I may not have even reapplied that later. I think I may have just left it off entirely. But honestly, I don't really value many of the squire abilities anyway, and so that's another reason why I kind of don't really mind. Normal squires or base squires don't actually get the chant ability. That's specifically for Ramza, as well as Delita. Delita's got chant as well. Maybe even Argeth. I'm not sure if he actually has it or not, but and that's because Delita, Ramza, and Argeth all have kind of, again, souped up versions of the Squire class. But again, I normally just remove the chant so that I don't have to deal with that. Yeah, I'm getting a level every time I take an action here. So there, I've definitely got a code that's equipped right now. I'll just have to tweak that. This battle doesn't matter at all, and so I don't really mind that's happening right now. But there you have it. That is it. That is the tutorial battle. Again, I really just running around and killing everybody. Records of the hero Delita first appear 1 year before the outbreak of the War of the Lions. The loss of the 50 Years' War saw knights returning from the front stripped of livelihood, their fealty to the crown and nobility abandoned. Many became rogues and traitors, men donning the thief's cloak and plotting treason against the crown. It was a time of great unrest for Ivalice. Murder and theft were commonplace. Many were the young adventurer and mage who stepped forward to counter this threat. Of such, the city of Garland too saw its share. Chapter 1, The Meager. Alright, and so it begins. The Royal Military Academy at Garland. Another Wayne was struck last night on his way to Egris. The Corpse Brigade again? Wonder where all this leads. Delito, what do you make of this? I'm not sure. I have my guesses, but I'm listening. I think Duke Larg is coming to Garland. Duke Larg, why? Not just the Duke, the Marquis Elmador de Limbury too. It's the first I've heard of it. This has not the sound of a state visit. This has not the sound of a state visit. I wonder if that's a hint that I've missed. All of Ivalice is in turmoil. The Order's supposed to be keeping things under control, but the fact is they number too few, and they mean to bolster their numbers with us. All right, everybody, form up. Yeah, it seems like Delita and Ramza are pretty quick. The Order of the Northern Sky has an assignment for its Knight's Apprentice. As I'm sure you're already aware, the number of the brigands roaming Galleon is on the rise. Among them, the Corpse Brigade is a seditious lot with a grudge against the crown. Rogues such as they must be dealt with. The Order has been commanded to undertake an operation to eliminate the brigade, an operation of a grand scale. We will not be acting alone. The Order will be joined by, among others, His Excellency Duke Larg's Royal Guard stationed at Egris. This will leave Egris Castle unmanned. Your task will be to proceed there and support us from the rear by bolstering its defenses. Okay. Fun. The time to take up arms is upon you, young apprentices. I've just received word that a band of thieves routed by our knights flees here to Garland, seeking refuge. We will move to stop them and finish the task of our brothers. You, young apprentices, will accompany us. This is but a squall before the storm of battle. Prepare yourselves at once. Dismissed. Alright, so yeah, I'm going to save my game here and actually turn on... Yeah, I'm going to redo this. Because right now, as I said, there's a code active. So I'll just pick this right up here. Okay, let's pick this back up. So I've turned off that code that I had on. It was I was getting like a bunch of extra JP and EXP, and I don't actually want to be doing that because for one thing, I actually want to keep Rams as low level as I possibly can. The reason for that is I want to unlock his ninja class early, and then I want to level from level 1 as a ninja. Normally that is very, very difficult to do, and I don't really recommend doing that for everybody, especially if you've never played the game before. But the reason why I like to do that is because when you level as a ninja, you will get, I wouldn't say randomly, but you will get, yeah, it's because it's not random, but you will get speed. And speed I view as the most important stat in the game. The more speed you have, the more actions you get in combat. And so it's just, again, I view it as the best stat in the game. And so Ninja has really, really good speed growth. The problem is, though, you need to actually level as the ninja in order to take advantage of that speed growth. And so, if you get all the way up to level 99, for instance, and haven't unlocked your ninja class, and then, okay, boom, you're ninja, well, you'll only get like a point or two of speed just for having the ninja job equipped, whereas you would have lost all of that all of the potential stats by leveling. Now, there's a leveling down process that you can take advantage of, but that's a little annoying. But anyway, so as I said, my goal here is actually to basically not use Ramza at all and not level him until I can unlock the ninja job for him. And one of the key ways of doing that is by using JP spillover. And what I mean by that is whenever whenever a unit takes an action in combat, let's just say they're a squire, for instance. Well, that character will usually get, a little bit of JP depending on what job level they are. But also, they will basically spill over a small percentage of JP to all of the other characters in combat with them. So again, for example, if this character takes an action and it's, let's just say 50 JP, about, I don't know, somewhere around 5 JP will spill over to Ramza as well as the other characters that you take into battle with you. And so what that means for you is that you can, basically unlock a character's jobs while not having performed any actions at all. And so I did that this time around, specifically for Ramza, and he ended up with an amazing speed stat, and I was really happy with it. It's I'm not gonna lie, it's tough. It's tough to pull it off. It makes the beginning of the game pretty rough, because you're relying on only 4 characters then, right, to basically accomplish everything. And so, again, I don't think it's for everybody, but I really liked it, and I was really happy with how it all played out. There also is, as I said, a kind of a leveling down process that you can take as well. And actually, you can kind of do that pretty early, because the Zekless Desert is actually a Chapter 1 battle spot. And so, at the end of the day, I don't know that you really need to, stress about it too much, because there is an option also to, level down your characters, even in Chapter 1. And so, maybe it's more trouble than it's worth to avoid leveling Ramza right away, but I don't know, it was kind of fun, and just kind of a fun little challenge that I decided to take on. So anyways, all right, let's get started here. So what have we here? We Mobbits, is it our lucks went and turned for the better? All right, lads, cut through these ones, and we're good as fled. We'll make quick work of them, and don't be leaving no squealers behind neither. Wow. Okay, guy. All right, so our objective here is to defeat all enemies, as it normally is. Looks like Delita's getting to act first. Delita here is this. Again, this is going to be just a little bit more difficult, because Delita's not going to have chant, which means that I'm going to have to do all of my healing with my chemist. Now, I don't think that that's going to be a problem, but it just means I have to be a little bit more careful. Throwing rocks at me? What a jerk. How dare you. Also, I should say, the characters that I decided to take here were the ones that had the most bravery. Generally, it's best to use characters with high bravery, because they'll deal more physical damage. Also, their reaction abilities will trigger more often, so I find them to be the better characters to start with. Careful, Ramza. Remember, the well-aimed thrust pierces the mail. Don't patronize me, Delita. We Beelves know our way around a battlefield. Beelv, was it? Heir to the noble house Beelv, I'd wager. Looks like we have ourselves some apprentices from the academy. Well, highborn Moppets is still Moppets. Lay down your arms or die clutching them. None will mourn your passing. Wow, that's mean. And you mean to make us do that, then? You're in far over your little heads. Yeah, I mean, it is kind of funny. I mean, I assume that, so these must be kind of veterans from they're deserters, so maybe they're not necessarily veterans here, but certainly soldiers of some sort. But I'm just gonna move Ramza up a little bit. I should see something here. Let's take a look at Ramza's class. Yeah, so I've This is Ramza's Squire class, and I've removed all of his abilities other than Tailwind. I just, I don't really like Chant. I don't usually use Salve, or any of the other, abilities that he normally has. I think that applies to Delita as well. Yeah. So I did give him focus, but I took everything else off. And so honestly, I mean, Delita's basically, he's a guest the entire time, and so it's not really, in my opinion, important to do really anything at all with him. He just, you can never really control him anyway, and so, and actually, I find him, I think generally speaking, actually, in some instances, actually harmful, because I think he takes up a slot in battle, which is really annoying. Normally, what I do is, I think it ends up being, four. Well, I suppose not in this case, right? Because we've got four other characters aside from Ramza. But generally, there's a couple of battles that play out where you actually are reduced by one character because of guest characters in your party, and I find that very annoying. But it's just kind of something that we have to deal with. So basically, I usually what I do is I have four characters that are kind of leveled up alongside of Ramza, and then one of those characters once in a while has to sit out, right? Because again, there's occasions where we just don't have enough kind of room in combat. So we'll look at Delita going after the chemist right away. Smart. He is pretty quick. Getting some more people throwing stones around. One thing also I should say is that, and I do this, maybe it's a little bit weird, but I generally fill up my roster with a bunch of different generics. And so that way I get to choose where my non-generics end up in my roster. It's not really all that important, but it's more of a, kind of an OCD thing where it really actually annoys me where, the characters, when they join you, they just get assigned a slot in your roster. And, again, that position is based on really, I mean, honestly, when they joined and what slot is open. And so, like, right now, I think Delita is number 25, which is actually really annoying, too. I wish that they would have made him number 26 in the roster list, but it's just kind of one of those things, again, that's a little bit of an annoying part of the game that they did that. It wouldn't be so bad if I decided to do all of my leveling during Chapter 2, because then Delita would be gone, but it doesn't end up playing out that way, and so it ends up being, as I said, pretty annoying. But, again, just something that we kind of got to deal with. What I usually like to do is hire a bunch of generics and put them at the end of my roster. And then that way, so they'll be like, number 24, 23, 22, and 21, I believe. And then that way, when Delita leaves, slot 25 opens up, and then I'll just hire another character for that slot. And then I usually use the characters, my generics, at the end of the list, because I'll kind of start getting rid of because so, like, Ramza is, and I should really actually do this while I'm actually looking at the roster, but yeah, so, like, Ramza occupies slot 1, and there's no way, that never changes, and it'll be like one of these male generics, I think, is slot 2, and then I think the other male Squire is slot 3, and then so on and so forth. But what I usually do is then move the my generics, or I should say, as I acquire the non-generics, then I get rid of the initial generics. I know this sounds kind of silly to really probably explain it right now, but The important thing is like I want. So for instance, what I want to do and what my goal is to have like Agrius occupy slot 2 in my roster. And the only really way to do, or the only way to do that really is to have a generic there and then have your roster completely filled up, so that when she joins, you have the option of kicking out, whoever you want out of your roster, and I will, choose my, number, whoever is in slot 2, which again I think right now is a male squire. So, all right, let's get this guy. I'm pretty happy though already. We've got one guy knocked down. Excuse me. So things are going quite well. Let's get this guy out of the way so that we can sneak somebody else in there. Yeah, that female squire's already gone. Already worked her over. So it looks like I'm not going to be able to actually reach anybody this time around, so I'll just move this guy up and have him wait here. Look at this guy. The chemist up top might get a... Yeah, he's probably going to get a... Yep, he's going to get an action here, so he'll heal that guy probably. Which is fine. The key, especially with this battle, is to surround, the enemies so that you can get multiple characters attacking them. Because the problem is, we're not doing that much damage, and it can get, a little bit difficult to actually knock these guys down if you've got a chemist running around healing them. But again, it's really about, focus fire and kind of surrounding the enemies so that you can, get enough damage on the guys to knock them down. Toleda's got he must have like a broadsword or something equipped, which is, enabling him to do a little bit more damage than some of the other characters. Let's see here. Is this a depth one? Yeah. Alright, so let's get working on this guy. He's basically run into the middle of my characters, and so I'm just going to surround him here and take him down. Okay, I've already got him. That was that. Probably not a great idea to just run right into the middle of us, but okay. And this guy's going to run away, of course. Leave Ramza there. Oh, this guy's going to... Wow, okay. That was a great use of that turn, and so he's made himself vulnerable here too as well by just kind of, running up and doing his 3 damage to my squire, which is like really, dude. Okay. Not so smart. All right, let's and obviously, so like basic stuff here is like, attack enemies from the side or from behind. Behind is the best, but that way there's a reduced chance that you'll miss. Yeah. So yeah, pretty again pretty basic stuff, but normally what I would do here too is to probably just waste a little bit of time and try to build some more JP, but the best way to actually do that is to leave the chemist alive. But I'll be honest, this time around, I don't really care that much. I kind of just want to get moving and actually get this video done. Let's see here. Now we're kind of blocked off here and can't really do anything. Bum ba bum bum ba dum. Do 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 do. One of the other things that we could do too for this battle is to just wait until some of these corpses expire and grab their loot. But these things. Oh, okay. So there's some crystals at least. But also again, normally these guys don't really drop much. That's all that useful anyway. So. Let's see here. What did this one drop? A leather cap. Ooh, oh boy. But yeah, not really something to worry that much about. Really, after this, we're going to be able to do random encounters, and the random encounters are way better for like farming cash and stuff than worrying about a crystal or well, I guess crystals don't give you any loot, but like again like leather caps and stuff like that. It's way better to just go out and do some random encounters. Honest work would see them die old and in bed, yet they chose instead this early grave. Why persist in such folly? Why indeed? What would drive them to do this? The battle is won! 500 gil, another bonus of 2,000, mithril knife, phoenix down, and a potion. Alright, well that 2k will come in handy. Generally after this, what I'll do is, hire some generics. Maybe, oops, okay, I missed that. I'm bashing the button too quickly here, so I didn't read that out. But all right, when at a city or castle, selecting its symbol and pressing S will open a menu displaying the various establishments at the location. If you are unsure what a particular menu option is for, press select to view more information about it. Pressing triangle while on the world map opens the main menu from which you can access your party roster or save the game. The game's various tutorials can be accessed from the main menu. These tutorials provide in-depth explanations of various aspects of the game. Consult them if you have any questions about how to play the game. The tutorials are actually really, really good in this game. But all right, so let's take a look. So I'll explain actually even a little bit more about kind of like what the plan was, right? So as I was saying earlier, Ramza is position 1 in our roster. Delita right now is 25. With the War of the Lions version, you can actually have 25 characters, and actually even more technically, because the guests don't really count against your 25 character limit, or unit limit, I should say. So again, right now, this is Ramza. He's number 1. Eventually, again, I want to have I think I usually put Agrius here at position 2. And what that means, though, is that, Agrius would probably get... So let's just say that Agrius joined right here and now. She would actually take up Delita's position right here because he's number 25. This Josephine chemist is only number 7 in my roster. So if anyone was to join right now, they would join at roster position 8 because Delita is always 25 and he's kind of stuck towards the end of the roster. But... So, Agrius would join right now here at position 8, and then, Delita would get bumped down 1. The problem is I don't really want her there. I want her at position 2. And so what I have to do is hire a bunch of generics, or I suppose you can breed monsters, and monsters will fill up your roster as well, but I don't want to go that route. I'm going to hire a bunch of generics here. And so I'll fill up my roster all the way up to, really, actually, I think technically it'll be 26 because what will happen here is I'll hire, all the way up to 24. Delita is always going to be stuck at 25 until he leaves, and then any further or any other person will actually join, and they'll be number 26, which is really annoying. I'll be honest. It gets really annoying because I like to keep the generics, the generics that I actually want to use. I want them to be actually 25, 24, 23, and 22, but it just doesn't work out that way for Chapter 1 because, again, Delita is stuck here at 25. But anyways, so I think I do a little bit of stuff here in between. I'm actually not going to do the Mandalia plane for this video because I'm basically just done. So anyways, I hope that I articulated why I did this well enough. And again, well, maybe I'll just, throw this in here at the end, but I really just, for the purposes of farming and stuff, I just really like to have, Ramza to only have Tailwind for the time being. And again, I just don't really care about Salve and the normal other skills that he would have, kind of access to enchant. Again, I just want to keep his menus a little bit more clean. And so that's kind of why I went this route. And he is actually, only able to learn Tailwind at this point. But I'll go over, I'm sure, more of this, or I went over, I should say, because again, I've already completely done this walkthrough. and all of the other videos are already up. So anyways, that is all the time I've got for this one. As always, hope the guide was helpful, and hope you join me for more videos. Thanks for watching.